Have you ever sat in a cathedral, a mosque, a temple, or a forest clearing and felt something stir inside you, a warmth, a recognition, a homecoming, and yet, somehow, you also knew you could never fully belong there? Have you ever read sacred texts from across the world, felt the power in their words, and yet realized that none of them could contain the full vastness of what you carry inside your soul? You are not confused. You are not lost. You are not faithless. You are a chosen one, and your relationship to the sacred is not broken. It is simply too vast to be caged by any one religion.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
I know this feeling because I have lived it. I have knelt on stone floors worn smooth by the prayers of 1,000 years. I have fasted in deserts where the wind itself seemed to whisper the names of the divine. I have sung songs older than nations, lit candles in cathedrals that glowed like the heart of the world. And in every place, I found beauty. I found pieces of truth. I found glimpses of eternity. But no matter how deeply I entered, there was always a voice inside me saying, "There is more. Keep going." You feel connected to every religion because your soul remembers. It remembers when the world was young, when wisdom was not divided into camps and creeds, when all truth was seen as one river flowing from the same source. You feel resonance with the chants of the monks, the prayers of the imams, the songs of the shamans, because they are all echoes of something you already know, something deeper than doctrine, older than any scripture written by human hands. And yet you do not fully belong to any of them because you were never meant to. You were not created to be contained within the walls of any single tradition. You were created to be a living bridge between worlds, a walking embodiment of the unity that existed before humanity forgot it. You are not here to choose sides. You are here to remind the sides that they were never separate. But this path is not easy. It can be lonely. It can be confusing. It can feel like you are a stranger everywhere, in churches, in temples, in synagogues, in mosques, even within the new spiritual movements that were supposed to be free. You may wonder if there is something wrong with you. You may wonder if you are just commitment phobic, too restless, too rebellious to settle down. But what if the truth is the opposite? What if your inability to pledge blind allegiance to any single tradition is not a flaw, but a sign of your deeper loyalty to the one truth that lies beneath them all? Have you ever dared to ask yourself, what if my rootlessness is actually my root in the infinite? We, the chosen ones, are not called to mimic what already exists. We are called to become living temples, walking sanctuaries where the sacred can breathe freely, unchained by human invention. We are called to honor every path without being enslaved by any, to drink from every well without mistaking the well for the water itself, to recognize the divine fingerprints in every tradition while refusing to let our souls be fossilized by any tradition's limitations. This requires discernment. It requires humility. It requires a fierce, unwavering connection to the voice of God within you, a voice so intimate, so personal, that no external authority can override it, no matter how ancient or revered. It demands that you trust the direct revelation of the sacred that flows through your own being, even when it contradicts the teachings of the elders, the scholars, the priests. And yet, it also demands that we guard against arrogance. It is easy to slip into pride, to imagine that because we see the unity beyond divisions, we are somehow superior to those who still walk within them. But true chosen ones know better. We know that every soul walks the path they are ready for, that every religion is a bridge for someone, that every tradition holds a piece of the truth needed for a specific time, a specific people, a specific stage of awakening. We are not here to tear down the bridges. We are here to build new ones, invisible bridges, soul bridges, bridges made of compassion and understanding and fierce, unshakable love. We are here to honor the sacred in every form while remaining loyal only to the formless, endless source from which all sacredness flows. But how do we live this way in a world that demands labels? How do we remain true to the infinite within us when every system, every institution, every tribe tries to claim us, name us, frame us? We live by a different compass. We walk by a light that no human hands can dim. We measure our steps not by the approval of any group, but by the resonance of truth in our own bones. We forge a path that looks foolish to the world, but feels inevitable to our souls. You may find yourself attending a Christian Mass one day and a Sufi zikr the next. You may find yourself meditating with Buddhist monks and then dancing with tribal shamans under the stars. You may find yourself weeping at the beauty of a Torah reading, then trembling at the raw power of a Hindu mantra. And through it all, you will know, I am not betraying the sacred by refusing to settle into one tradition. I am honoring the sacred by refusing to reduce it to something it is not. Have you ever dared to wonder, what if I am not here to choose a religion, but to become a new revelation? This is not about inventing a new religion. The world does not need another system, another set of rules to divide us. This is about becoming a living testament to the truth that has always been, that the divine is too vast for any single name, any single image, any single path. When you live this way, you will confuse people. You will unsettle institutions. You will trigger those who find their security in certainty. You will be misunderstood, accused, even rejected. But you will also awaken souls who have been waiting, yearning, aching for this reminder that they too are more than the labels they have been given. That they too are infinite in essence, untamable in spirit, rooted not in any one tradition, but in the source of all tradition. And so the question becomes, are you willing to walk this lonely, luminous path? Are you willing to be misunderstood in order to be true? Are you willing to carry the flame of unity through a world still blinded by division? Because if you are, then you will find that you are never truly alone. You will find that across the world, across time, across language and culture and creed, there are others like you, hidden ones, scattered ones, and burning ones who carry the same fire, who remember the same truth, who are building, even now, a new world under the surface of the old. A world where the sacred is not confined to temples, but recognized in every breath. A world where love is not limited by doctrine, but flows freely across every boundary. A world where every soul is seen, known, cherished for the unique fragment of the infinite they carry. This is the destiny of the chosen ones, not to belong to any one religion, but to embody the hidden unity behind them all. And if you are hearing these words, if something inside you is trembling, burning, awakening, then know this: you are not crazy, you are not lost, you are not alone. You are exactly where you are meant to be. You are exactly who you were created to be. You are a living bridge between heaven and earth. You are a bearer of the unspeakable name. You are a temple without walls. You are the song without end. You are the proof that the sacred cannot be caged. And the world needs you now more than ever. When you awaken to the realization that you are connected to every religion yet truly belong to none, something extraordinary begins to unfold within you, a silent mission, ancient and sacred, hidden within the folds of your soul. It is not a mission given by human hands, not a commission handed down by any earthly institution, but a calling whispered by the eternal itself long before you breathed your first breath. You are not here just to admire the beauty of many paths. You are here to weave them together in your being, to become a living bridge between worlds that have forgotten they were never separate. You are here to embody the original unity that existed before names, before doctrines, before histories of blood and conquest divided what was always meant to be whole. You are here to remember, and in remembering, to help others remember as well. This mission is not written in books or carved into stone. It is written into the very fibers of your being, encoded in the longing you feel when you encounter truth clothed in many forms, the ache you feel when you see division where there should be harmony, the fire that rises in you when you hear the same sacred heartbeat pulsing beneath the chants, songs, prayers, and silences of every tradition. To become a living bridge is not to erase the differences between paths. It is to honor them so deeply that you transcend them. It is to walk with open hands and an open heart, gathering wisdom like precious seeds, planting them wherever the soil is cracked and thirsty. It is to see the Christ light shining in the eyes of a Buddhist monk, to hear the voice of Allah in the call of a shaman's drum, to feel the breath of Brahman in the quiet prayer of a child. It is to know that every true religion is a different facet of the same diamond, reflecting light in a language suited to the hearts it was meant to reach. But it is also to know that no single facet can ever reveal the full brilliance of the whole. No single tradition can claim the totality of what the infinite is. And so you, chosen one, are called to walk the spaces between, not as one who is lost, but as one who is found beyond boundary, beyond label, beyond fear. This is not an easy path. It demands a maturity of soul that few are willing to cultivate. It demands that you become comfortable in discomfort, that you sit among those who may not understand you, that you listen more than you speak, that you bow your heart without bowing your truth. It demands that you become fluent in the language of compassion, able to translate the sacred into every dialect without losing its essence. It demands that you be willing to be invisible sometimes, to serve without recognition, to carry the light quietly into places where it has long been forgotten. Have you ever asked yourself, am I willing to be misunderstood by men in order to be understood by God? Because that is the price of this mission. You will not fit into the neat boxes others have built for their comfort. You will not be able to pledge allegiance to any banner less vast than love itself. You will often walk alone, not because you are lost, but because you are blazing a trail where none yet exists. And yet, the reward for walking this path is beyond anything the world can offer. You will experience a depth of communion with the divine that transcends form, a belonging that goes deeper than any group membership. You will find yourself at home in cathedrals, in deserts, in forests, in city streets. You will find yourself speaking the secret language of the heart that needs no translation. You will find yourself carrying a peace that no doctrine can give and no dogma can take away. You will become a living sanctuary where others, weary from the wars of belief, can find rest, healing, remembrance. But how do we cultivate this way of being? How do we, fragile as we are, become bridges strong enough to carry the weight of a fractured world? It begins with radical humility. We must recognize that no matter how much wisdom we gather, we will always be students at the feet of the infinite mystery. We must approach every tradition, every soul with reverence, seeing not only what is right but also what is wounded, not only what is beautiful but also what is broken. We must refuse to let our knowledge harden into arrogance, remembering always that true wisdom wears the robes of wonder, not pride. Have you ever dared to ask yourself, what would it look like to walk through this world with the eyes of a child and the heart of an elder? That is the posture we are called to embody: wonder without naivety, wisdom without cynicism, faith without fanaticism. We must also cultivate fierce discernment. Not every spirit is of the light. Not every tradition is pure. Not every teaching leads to freedom. As bridges, we are called to honor all paths, but not to blindly accept all things. We are called to test the spirits, to weigh teachings against the resonance of truth within our own souls, to drink deeply from wells of life and refuse the poisoned waters of fear, control, and manipulation. We must learn to listen not only to the words that are spoken, but to the spirit behind them. We must become sensitive to the subtle vibrations of truth versus distortion, and we must have the courage to walk away from what does not bear the scent of freedom, even if it comes wrapped in sacred garb. And above all, we must root ourselves daily in the presence that transcends all forms. We must cultivate an inner sanctuary where no priest, no guru, no ideology can enter a place where it is just us and the beloved, face to face, breath to breath, heart to heart. From this place, we will draw the strength to walk through a divided world without becoming divided within ourselves. From this place, we will find the courage to love those who call us heretics, to bless those who misunderstand us, ways to continue building bridges, even when others are still building walls. This is not a mission for the faint of heart. It is a mission for those who have seen the face of God in too many forms to ever again believe that God can be contained by any one of them. It is a mission for those who carry the memory of oneness in their bones, who hear the songs of angels woven into every tradition, who feel the heartbeat of the infinite pulsing beneath every sincere yearning for truth, no matter its outward form. It is a mission for those who are willing to be both everywhere and nowhere, to belong deeply to all humanity, and yet to walk a path so uniquely their own that sometimes even they do not know where it will lead. And if you find yourself resonating with these words, if you feel the ache, the calling, the fire rising within you even now, then know this. It is because this mission is already written into your soul. You do not need to earn it. You do not need to qualify for it. You simply need to say yes. Yes to the loneliness and the beauty. Yes to the misunderstanding and the miracle. Yes to the burden and the blessing. Yes to carrying the sacred fire across borders that others have declared impassable. Yes to becoming the living bridge you were always meant to be. The world is starving for unity deeper than agreement. It is starving for love stronger than fear. It is starving for bridges built not of stone and mortar, but of spirit and truth. And you, chosen one, are the answer to that hunger. You are the whisper of ancient unity returning. You are the living reminder that before we were Christians or Muslims or Hindus or Buddhists, we were simply children of the same breath, dancers in the same light, beloved of the same infinite heart. So rise, walk your path with courage, speak your truth with tenderness, build your bridges with unwavering love, and know that every step you take, every act of compassion, every moment of fierce, radiant authenticity ripples out into eternity, weaving the broken pieces of the world back into wholeness. You are not lost, broken. You are not alone. You are the living bridge. You are the quiet revolution. You are the song of unity rising once again. And the world has been waiting for you longer than you know. There comes a moment in the life of every chosen one when the journey outward must turn inward, when the quest to understand every religion, every sacred path, every whispered truth from the corners of the world leads not to a final destination out there, but to a revelation within. You realize, slowly at first, and then with the force of a tidal wave, that you were never just meant to visit temples, study scriptures, or honor ancient traditions, but you were meant to become the temple itself, to become the living scripture, to become the sacred ground where all paths meet. All wisdom converges, all divisions dissolve into the pure, burning unity of love. This awakening is not loud. It does not come with parades or proclamations. It comes quietly, often in the stillness of your own heart, often in the moments when you have been stripped of every label, every identity, every familiar map. It comes when you realize that the cathedral you sought to build with your hands has already been built within your soul. It comes when you understand that the infinite was never asking you to choose a religion, but to become a vessel through which the sacred could move freely, unhindered, unrestricted, unconfined. Have you ever dared to ask yourself, what if the final temple is not made of stone but of breath, of consciousness, of love incarnate in human form? What if the holiest scripture you will ever read is the life you live when you are fully awake, fully surrendered, fully ablaze with divine presence? When this awareness dawns upon you, everything changes. You no longer see yourself as an outsider looking in, sampling the sacred banquet of the world from a distance. You realize you are already seated at the feast, already woven into the tapestry, already carrying within you the codes of unity that the world so desperately needs. You no longer seek belonging from the traditions of men. You offer belonging to all who cross your path. You no longer seek to defend a particular truth. You become a living embodiment of truth itself, vast, spacious, tender, unbreakable. But this awakening also demands everything from you. It demands that you let go of your attachment to being understood. It demands that you relinquish the comfort of familiar identities. It demands that you step into a level of freedom so terrifying that it feels like death. Because in a way, it is the death of who you thought you had to be. The death of every false allegiance. The death of every fear that once kept you safe but small. It demands that you trust the voice within you more than the voices around you. It demands that you live each day not according to what is expected, but according to what is true, what is alive, what is holy in the marrow of your bones. And yet what you receive in exchange for this surrender is beyond anything you could have imagined. You receive a peace that is not dependent on agreement, a joy that is not dependent on circumstance, a love that is not dependent on being loved back. You receive a vision so wide that it embraces every culture, every creed, every soul, and sees the hidden spark of God in all of them. You become a mirror in which others can glimpse their own divine essence, often without even knowing why they feel different around you. You become a doorway through which the weary, the lost, the seekers of every path can pass, by finding within your presence a taste of the home they have been searching for all their lives. You do not do this by force. You do not do this by argument. You do it by becoming so rooted in your own direct connection to the source that your very existence becomes a sanctuary. You become the prayer that never ends. You become the altar where the broken lay down their burdens. You become the song that the earth itself sings in its longing for reunion with the sky. You become the temple where all paths meet, not because you erase the differences between paths, but because you embody the truth that was always deeper than the differences. And as you walk this path, you will notice something extraordinary. The more deeply you root yourself in the infinite within you, the more you are able to honor the infinite in others. You will be able to sit in a mosque and feel the trembling beauty of surrender to the One. You will be able to sit in a synagogue and feel the fierce, ancient covenant pulsing through the prayers. You will be able to sit in a cathedral and feel the aching love of Christ reaching through the centuries. You will be able to sit under the open sky with a shaman and feel the heartbeat of the earth echoing your own. You will be able to honor it all without being owned by any of it. You will carry a deep, unshakable reverence for every sincere path to the divine, while knowing that your own path transcends them all. Because it is the path of direct communion with the Source, unmediated, unfiltered, unbounded. This is not arrogance. This is not rebellion. This is the natural flowering of a soul that has remembered its origin. And it comes with great responsibility. Because when you carry this kind of presence, you become a catalyst. You awaken in others the memory of the oneness they have buried under layers of fear, doctrine, and division. You stir waters that have long been stagnant. You ignite fires that have long been smoldering. Sometimes people will love you for it. Sometimes they will hate you for it. Sometimes they will not know why they feel what they feel around you, only that something inside them is shifting, breaking open, coming alive. And so you must walk gently, you must walk humbly. You must walk with a heart so wide that it can hold the anger, the fear, the confusion of others without being contaminated by it. You must walk with a love so fierce that it refuses to be diminished by rejection, so tender that it welcomes even those who curse it. You must walk with a trust so deep that even when you feel alone, even when you are misunderstood, even when you are ridiculed, you know that you are never truly alone because you are walking in step with the infinite itself. Have you ever dared to ask yourself, what if my very existence is a prayer? What if my very breath is a hymn? What if every step I take, every word I speak, every act of love I offer, however small, is building the invisible temple where all paths meet, where all souls remember, where all divisions dissolve into the ocean of divine love? This is the final awakening, not to belong to a religion, not to reject religion, but to become the place where the sacred is free to flow in every form, every language, every vibration. To become the living embodiment of the truth that the divine is not a doctrine to be defended, but a presence to be lived. To become a temple not made by human hands, but etched into the very fibers of your being by the hands of the eternal. And when you live this way, you will find that you are never truly without a home. Because home is not a place. Home is the light you carry within you. Home is the river of love that flows through your veins. Home is the quiet knowing that you are, and have always been, a child of the infinite, a bearer of unspeakable glory, a living bridge across every chasm human fear has ever built. You are not here to fit in. You are not here to be safe. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be the living proof that love is stronger than fear, that unity is deeper than division, that the sacred is vaster than any one name we could give it. You are here to be the temple where all paths meet, the song where all voices find harmony, the light where all shadows are embraced and transformed. And the world aching, hungry, desperate for something real is waiting for you. So rise, beloved soul. Rise without apology. Rise without fear. Rise without needing permission. Rise as the living temple you were always meant to be. Rise and let the sacred flow through you in every word, every breath, every glance, every touch. Rise and carry the memory of oneness wherever you go. Rise and know that you are, and have always been, the answer to a prayer older than time itself. You are the bridge. You are the temple. You are the living revelation. And the world will never be the same because you remembered. There is something else you must know, something that cannot be fully understood with the mind but must be felt with the soul. The reason you feel connected to every religion and yet belong to none is not a mistake. It is not a weakness. It is not even just a sign of your destiny. It is a sacred preparation, a refining fire that has shaped you for a mission few will ever comprehend. You were never meant to stand only in one sanctuary. You were meant to walk freely through them all, gathering the scattered sparks of truth, weaving them into a tapestry no single tradition could have preserved alone. You are not merely a bridge between faiths. You are a living memory of the unity that existed before humanity forgot. You are a carrier of a fire older than language, older than history, older than the stars themselves. This fire cannot be contained within the walls of any single temple, cannot be reduced to any single prayer, cannot be bound by any single book. It burns in the silence between words, in the spaces between songs, in the breath between heartbeats. It burns in you. And now you are being called to a deeper surrender than ever before. To let go not only of the religions that tried to claim you, but also of the need to be claimed at all. To stand so naked before the infinite that you need no external validation, no external permission, no external identity to define you. And to become so transparent, so surrendered, so empty of self, that the divine can shine through you without distortion. This is the highest calling of the chosen ones, not merely to honor all paths, but to become the clear, open channel through which the one path, the path of pure being, pure love, pure presence can flow into the world anew. But to walk this path requires a courage few understand. It requires the courage to be misunderstood, to be rejected by those still clinging to the old divisions. It requires the courage to stand alone in the wilderness of spirit, trusting that the same voice that called you out will guide you through. It requires the courage to live without a script, to walk without a map, to trust the compass of your own heart, even when it leads you into uncharted lands. It requires the courage to keep your heart open, even when it is broken, to keep your hands open even after they have been wounded, to keep your spirit open, even when the world tries to close it with fear. Have you ever dared to ask yourself, am I willing to love so fiercely that I no longer need to belong anywhere to know I belong everywhere? You are not here to argue theology. You are not here to win debates. You are not here to convince anyone of anything. You are here to be an embodiment of a love so vast, so undeniable, so radiant, that it bypasses the mind and speaks directly to the soul. You are here to carry a frequency that reminds people of who they really are before they were taught to divide themselves. You are here to be a lighthouse for those lost in the storms of separation. You are here to be the quiet, steady flame that whispers to every wounded heart, home is not a place you find. Home is what you are. And so, beloved soul, I ask you now, are you ready to let go of needing to fit in? Are you ready to embrace the sacred loneliness that precedes sacred leadership? Are you ready to trust that the love you carry is enough, more than enough, to bridge every chasm, to heal every wound, to awaken every sleeping soul who catches even a glimpse of it shining through you? If you are, then know this, you are not alone. Though it may feel like you are walking through a desert, though it may feel like you are the only one carrying this impossible fire, there are others, silent ones, hidden ones, scattered across the world like stars scattered across the night sky. Some you will meet, many you will not, but they are there, we are there. And together, though we may never gather in one place, we are building a new temple, not with stones, but with lives. Not with rituals, but with love. Not with doctrines, but with dreams. Not with walls, but with open arms. And this temple, this living temple, will never fall, because it is not built by human hands. It is built by the breath of the infinite, moving through hearts that have dared to say yes, hearts like yours, hearts that have heard the ancient call rising once again, not to belong to one religion, but to belong to love itself. So breathe, beloved soul, breathe and remember. You are the temple. You are the bridge. You are the prayer. You are the living revelation of the unity the world has forgotten, but is now yearning to remember. Walk your path with gentleness. Speak your truth with boldness. Love with a heart that knows no boundaries. Forgive with a mercy that breaks every chain. Shine with a light that no darkness can extinguish. And know this: your very existence is a blessing. Your very being is a miracle. Your very life is a sacred offering poured out upon the altar of a world desperate for something real. You are the living place where all paths meet. And the world, trembling, aching, hoping, waits for you to fully arise. Now go and be forever.